underdog emerged as the BAISS champions. Hospital death rates are revealed, and a report on the nation's existing healthcare system said that thousands of Bahamians won't be guaranteed healthcare come 2016. We've got these stories and a whole lot more. I'm your host, Krishna Virgil, and this is the Tribune's Top 5. After 3 days of grueling competition, the Queen's College Comets emerged as the BAISS champions to defeat the St. Augustine's College Big Red Machine. The Queen's College Comets painted the Thomas A. Robinson Track and Field Stadium green and white on Friday as they rushed onto the field to celebrate their victory. It broke the stronghold that the St. Augustine's College Big Red Machine had on the Bahamas Association of Independent Secondary Schools Track and Field Championships for the last 25 years. After leading from the first day, the Comets put the finishing touches on a superb performance at the end of the three-day meet to win their first title, and they did it in grand style, accumulating a total of 1,408.59 points to dethrone the Big Red Machine by 150.5 points. QC's coach Everett Fraser said, quote, "I'm happy. The kids came out on the first day and they showed a lot of heart. That is what we started with, and in our meetings we told them that they have to want it if they want to beat SAC. I think they got the message and they went out and got the job done." End quote. It was a remarkable turnaround for SAC, who had posted a 155-point victory last year as they had to settle for second place, this time with 1,258 points in what turned out to be a two-horse race at the end of the 12-team field. But there wasn't much change in the rest of the standings as the St. Anne's Blue Waves held on to third place with 477 points. Murders this year have outpaced last year's count for the same period by more than 20%. The revelation came as authorities hunted for clues in the killing of a prominent doctor's son. Last year, there were 19 killings during January and February. The fatal shooting of 31-year-old Sean Neville near his home in the Culberts Hill area of Prince Charles Drive on Friday night raised the homicide count in the equivalent period for 2015 to 24. Mr. Neville's lifeless body was lying outside a gray rental vehicle with several gunshot wounds to the upper body in Woodlawn Way when police arrived. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Officers also found a handgun with several live rounds of ammunition in his possession. Mr. Neville lived with his parents, which included his father, Dr. Mike Neville, a renowned forensic pathologist, who told the Tribune he was at home writing when unwittingly he heard the gunshots that claimed the life of his son outside a neighbor's house. Startling new statistics reveal this week that death rates for patients on the Princess Margaret Hospital's public wards are 100% times higher than those on the private wards. Death rates for patients at PMH's public wards are more than 100% higher than those of patients in the facility's private wards, a report prepared by international accounting firm Sanajes International found. The report also found that PMH's average mortality rate, 4.6%, which excludes the deaths of infants, is well above the U.S. average mortality rate of 1.3%. The report, of which the Tribune has obtained a copy, was presented to the government on October 2nd, 2014, and examines the feasibility of national health insurance and presents options for financing the scheme. According to the report, mortality rates are well over 100% higher in PMH's public wards for persons aged 18 to 64, as well as for those individuals 65 and older. Data from the report shows that in 2012, death rates of people aged 18 to 64 admitted to PMH's public wards was 2.7% compared to a death rate of 0.5% for those of the same age range in the private wards. Meanwhile, people 65 years and older had a death rate of 14.8% in the public wards compared to a rate of 6.9% in the private wards. Those younger than 18, excluding newborns, had a death rate of 0.7% in public wards, while there were no deaths for this age group in PMH's private wards. After a 500-page report completed by Sanajes International was leaked to the public, revealing a frightening picture of the state of the public healthcare system, Prime Minister Perry Christie moved to quell concerns that his administration had already chosen a rate of taxation to fund national health insurance. In Sanajest's scathing report, they recommended that the government implements a 5% payroll tax, increase taxes on luxury items such as alcohol and tobacco, and double the ceiling for National Insurance Board contributions to fund the proposed National Health Insurance Scheme. However, Mr. Christie refuted that his government had decided to move forward with the recommendations because he said the government was still consulting on the matter. The release of the report obtained by the Tribune triggered a wave of backlash from critics. Tall Pines MP Leslie Miller also threw himself into the public spotlight as he predicted mass layoffs in the insurance industry as a result of the implementation of NHI. Mr. Miller explained that insurers would turn to layoffs because their profit margins would be gravely affected by the implementation of NHI. The government plans to implement universal health care in January 2016. Next year, 100,000 Bahamians won't be guaranteed health care, according to consultants hired by the government to review the public healthcare system. Health consultants from Sanajest International estimated that more than 100,000 Bahamians, or 30% of the population, will not be guaranteed access to health care next year, nor will they be guaranteed protection from financial hardship if they should face a catastrophic health event. This highlights one of the many inequities of healthcare in the Bahamas that national health insurance could improve, the Costa Rican consultants noted in a report on the matter obtained by the Tribune. In discussing disparities within the country's healthcare system, the consultants note existing legislation that mandates that certain groups receive free healthcare services are not fully followed. For example, according to the Health Services Act, indigent people, inmates and staff of prisons, members of the police force, and those seeking care in connection with childbirth are exempt from healthcare service charges. However, people that fall into these categories are often subject to charges relating to various services, including medication and MRIs. The consultants also note that while in principle, healthcare services are available to many people, the process to actually receiving the care is vulnerable to both political influences and inefficiencies. Want to get in on the discussion? Well, here's how you can. Just log on to our website at www.tribune242.com, like us on Facebook, the Tribune News Network, send us a tweet at Tribune242, or subscribe to our YouTube page, Tribune242.